How much do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your ability to accomplish your biggest dreams and goals? Do you believe in your ability to follow through on anything you set your mind to? Do you believe in your ability to handle whatever comes? The question of self-belief is so important because so many people miss out on achieving their biggest goals and dreams in life, not because those dreams are not for them, but because they don't believe that they are. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 4 ways to increase your level of self-belief because it is the thing that creates everything. Hi, I'm Cassandra Vaughn. This is Cassandra Vaughn TV, a life redesign channel for women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who want to rebuild their minds, redesign their lives, and reestablish their powerful sense of self-worth. If you're a woman in your 30s, 40s, or 50s and you are ready to rebuild your life, meaning you are ready to put on your crown, to reclaim the throne, and to rule your kingdom, click subscribe and click the bell and you'll be alerted every time there's a new video, and they will all relate to you. So before we get started on talking about the 4 ways to increase your level of self-belief, I want to start out by saying something that I really hope you take in. And it's this: your self-belief, your current level of self-belief, the level of self-belief that you are choosing to have right now has nothing to do with the circumstances of your life. Let me say that again. Your self-belief has nothing to do with the circumstances of your life. Meaning, so many people plummet their current level of self-belief because they keep looking back at the mistakes they made in the past, the patterns they have not learned from as of yet, the financial decisions that tanked their household, the relationship decisions that put them in bad relationships for decades. So many people are living today in a past they cannot change and using the past they cannot change as the reason why they're choosing today to not believe in themselves. So let's just get that out of the way right now. Your current level of self-belief that you always have the power to choose has nothing to do with any of the circumstances of your life because you get to choose how you feel about you. So let's get that out of the way. Next thing I want to talk about, because I talk about this issue of believing in yourself and finding your fire in one of my books that I wrote called, hopefully it shows up right on this, Find Your Fire, a guide to rebuilding your confidence, rediscovering your power, and expanding your courage daily. This is a really little, quick read, powerful book. And so I want to read to you a quote that I put at the very beginning of this book because it's going to really get to what we're talking about in this video. So in the book I say, stop looking for your fire on the outside. If the flames aren't burning, you've got to find a way to light yourself from within. In As a Man Thinketh, James Allen said it best: we are what we think we are. That line sparked a deeper question within me. Who do I think I am? Am I a woman who's stuck, trapped, weak, powerless, afraid, lonely, bitter, and without faith that tomorrow can be better than today? Or am I, as Barbara Taylor Bradford titled her book, a woman of substance, of strength, of power, of certainty, a woman whose confidence is met by her humility, a woman who sees no loss, embraces the obstacles, adores the challenges, and easily wipes away criticism and blame with a brush of the shoulder? Who am I choosing to be in this very moment? Who will I choose to become in the next? When we stop looking for reasons why we are not who we want to be and we commit to becoming the ones we know we were born to become, life changes. Now, rather than focusing on the current temporary experience that is weighing us down, we're taking hold of the transformative journey that has the potential to lift us up. The stuckness is replaced by creativity. The not knowing is filled with trusting. Now the circumstance moves into its proper place. Now the circumstance moves into its proper place. This book helps you do a lot of things, but the most important thing is the title of the book, Find Your Fire. You can get that on Amazon at overcomingfearbooks.com. But I read you that because I want to really hit home on a belief that you've now got to choose to accept in your life. My self-belief has nothing to do with the circumstances of my life. Accept that belief. And then we can talk about the 4 ways to increase your level of self-belief, which we're about to do. All right, let's get down to it. The 4 ways to increase your level of self-belief. So the first way, and let's talk about it, make and keep the commitments you make to yourself. Make and keep the commitments you make to yourself. In other words, stop betraying yourself. You know, we don't realize it, but when we say that we're going to do something for us, and then we don't do the thing that we committed to doing for us because we're doing things for other people, we are doing the deepest form of self-betrayal there is. And we don't even know that we're doing it because we don't feel the repercussions of those tiny little self-betrayals until they become massive and we're just ready to explode on everybody. So you say you want to go to the gym, you say you want to work out, it's January 1st, you set aside 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. to go to the gym, but every time you turn around, one of your kids needs this, one of your kids needs a ride here, you have to make their lunches early in the morning. You are choosing them over the commitment you made to you, and you think that's okay because you'll try to get exercise in later, which doesn't happen. You'll try to do it at a different time, but that wasn't the commitment you made to yourself. The commitment you made to yourself was that that early morning workout time is for you. So whenever you make and don't keep the commitments you make to yourself, you are doing self-betrayal, which already erodes your level of self-belief. So if you want to increase your level of self-belief, one of the fastest ways to do it is to start to make what I like to call tiny self-commitments to yourself. Like a 2-hour workout promised to you Monday through Friday at the gym is a huge commitment for most people. But tiny, like, I'll give you some examples. I'm going to take a 10-minute nature walk somewhere between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. 3 days a week. Tiny. You got 3 out of 7 to get it done. You've given yourself a huge time block in which to get it done. So if life happens, you can still manage to make it happen. But you are still creating that integrity with yourself where you say, if I commit to doing something for myself, it is going to get done. If I say it, if I commit it to me, it gets done. So I want you to start with tiny commitments that you make to yourself that you keep to yourself. Listen, be careful with what you define as tiny. For example, somebody might say, okay, tiny commitment I'm going to make is I'm going to go to bed every night by 9 p.m. when right now you're going to bed by midnight most of the time. That seems like a tiny commitment. That is not a tiny commitment. That is a huge commitment. So when I say tiny, I mean little self-commitments. Like every day I'm going to go into the mirror at some point of the day. I'm going to say to myself, looking in my own eyes, I love myself. At least once a day. Tiny commitment. Make sure that it's tiny. So here's what I want you to do. This is the first strategy you can use, and it is the fastest working strategy. Make and keep the commitments you make to yourself. I want you to comment below and tell me, what is one tiny commitment that you are now willing to make to yourself and keep to yourself from this moment forward? Tell me what the commitment is, how you'll know that you actually fulfill the commitment, how often you're going to do the commitment, and in what time range you're going to do the commitment. Comment below and tell me. Strategy number 2 for increasing your level of self-belief is a harder one, and it's this. Go for a challenging dream, one dream, and vigilantly focus on it until it's done. This is a strategy which forces you to remove quit from your mental dictionary. In other words, I want you to choose one big dream, one dream that when you look at achieving that dream, you say to yourself, if I achieved this one dream, it would literally domino effect positively in the direction of my life and all the other dreams. So pick a challenging dream, one that you've wanted for a long time. And I want you to vigilantly, obsessively focus on that dream. Build your schedule and your day and your life around the time you need to achieve that dream until it's done. The moment you stay the course on a really big dream, automatically every single day that you continue to work on that dream, your self-belief goes up. Why? Because you are pursuing something that A, is really hard, B, you've wanted for a long time, and C, you are actually not giving up on yourself, and every day you're showing up, whether you feel like it or not, and you're doing the work. It builds your level of self-belief so powerfully over a long period of time. So this is not the fastest strategy, but it really is a powerful one. And I want you to comment below. Tell me what is one big dream that you have wanted for a long, long time that you have been afraid to pursue because you said to yourself, what if I quit again? Or what if I don't have what it takes? Or what if I can't do it? Comment below. Tell me what is one big dream that is challenging that you really, really want. And just comment below and tell me what the dream is. Third strategy you can use to increase your level of self-belief. Remind yourself of past successes and obstacles that you have overcome. You know, there's this quote that says, you have survived every bad day you've ever had. So I want you to think about this. You're watching this video, which means you have lived through every past bad life experience you've ever had. You are more than a survivor, you are a warrior. And I think so often we dismiss the things that we've overcome in the past. We dismiss the strength that we've cultivated over time, the resilience that we've cultivated, the grit. We dismiss all of it because we go, well, I had to live through that. No, nobody has to live through anything. The reality is if you're still standing today, then there are things that in your however many years of living, you have had to overcome, you have had to get through, you've had to work through. You have successes in the past where no one thought you would make it, and you did. No one thought you would go that far and achieve that much, and you did. And so when you're having these self-doubt moments and where you're looking at pursuing something new and you don't really believe that you can do it, remind yourself of the times in the past when you didn't believe you could do it then either, and you still did it. You didn't believe you could survive that situation, but you did. When you bring to your own remembrance all that you've built when nobody believed in you, and all that you've gotten through when you didn't know in the moment how you're going to get through it, that builds your level of self-belief because it reminds you of who you really are and what you're actually capable of. So take time when you start to have those, like, I don't believe I can move forward, I don't believe I can do something. Sit for a minute and go, all right, let's see if history is confirming what I believe, because when have I been in spots like this before when I didn't believe in myself, and yet I still found a way, I still made a way, I still did everything I wanted to do, even if I didn't fully believe I could do it. How did I cultivate that power then? Let me cultivate that power now. Bring to your remembrance past successes and obstacles you've overcome, and then remind yourself that the person who did that way back then is even more powerful today, even more. And use that to raise or increase your level of self-belief. The fourth and final strategy that I'm going to talk about to increase your level of self-belief is this: affirm your trust in the process of life. Let me say that again. Affirm your trust in the process of life. So one of the simplest but most powerful ways that I've learned how to do this is an affirmation that I first got in doing a Yoga with Adriene episode. Yoga with Adriene is awesome. It is a YouTube channel where you can do 20, 30, even 10-minute yoga episodes where Adriene, obviously, who's the yoga instructor, does them. And on one of her Yoga with Adriene videos, and it's called, I think, Let It Go, she said this: the universe is for me, and so is everything else. The universe is for me, and so is everything else. Now, that is a very loaded affirmation, because when you are affirming your trust in the process of life, what you're really saying is, I trust that everything, even the really bad things, everything is always working out for me. So this affirmation reminds you of that. It reminds you that everything you're going through, everything you've been through, everything that feels hard and tough and painful and sucks, it is for you, because the universe is for me, and so is everything else. If the universe is for you, then the bad stuff has also got to be for you. So use that affirmation. When you get into tough moments, when you get into moments where you're like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can make it through this. Say to yourself, accept the universe is for me, and so is everything else. The universe is for me, and so is everything else. So that means that this shitty situation has also got to be for me. That means that there is something in this obstacle that is an opportunity for me, and I'm not leaving until I find it. The universe is for me, and so is everything else. When you get in a spot where you don't believe like you can handle what you need to handle, say to yourself, the universe is for me, and so is everything else. Because you know what? At the end of the day, that is what's true. That's what's true. The universe is for you, and so is everything else. There you have it, my 4 ways to increase your level of self-belief. You know, the reality is this: to achieve your best life, you first have to believe in your ability to create it. To rebuild your life, you have to rebuild your mind first. And so I've created a 10-week online program for women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s called Rebuild Yourself. Because I know that whatever your dreams are, wherever your heart is, whatever you really want your life to look like, before you can create it in your life, you've got to build it in your mind first. So I invite you to join me for the journey in the 10-week Rebuild Yourself program. Go to CassandraVon.com/programs, check out the program, register today, because you know what? If your life isn't exactly what you want, you have the power to change it. Check out the Rebuild Yourself program at CassandraVon.com/programs. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching and have an amazing week.